welcome back. It's time for another quick peek at the press. I thought you might like to see this one, simulated process print, a little bit different, and some slightly different techniques in use here, which is essential. Let's take you down, have a quick look at it. Simulated process prints are made up of tiny half tones. So you don't want an open mesh screen, you want a tighter screen. This is a 77T screen, which is actually a bit more open than what we normally use. And if I zoom in, you will be able to see, hopefully, some of the half tones. There we go. And we're using a 77 there instead of a 90, just because we want to lay a bit more ink down for the underbase, just because of the light colors that there are in this particular print. So there's a white going down, there's a standard flash, and then we start laying down the colors. A simulated process, people get a lot of confusion about this, about what it is, and they're familiar generally with CMYK. So CMYK is 4-color processing: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and that normally goes down on a white tee. So you've got a white base. So think of your laser printer or your standard 4-color printer that you use in your office. That's CMYK, and that uses the white background in conjunction with the 4 colors, and the dots of the 4 colors being placed close together to produce other colors, and it causes the eye to see, in theory, a myriad, quite literally, of colors. So that's CMYK. If you understand that, you'll begin to understand simulated process. And simulated process is the same thing, except you're using many more colors. I think this is a 9-color or an 8-color print to produce the same effect. But obviously, it goes down on a dark garment. So you can't use just the 4 because you haven't got the white to make it work. So it merges lots of different colors to get depth of tone in it. But that's basically all it is. It's half tones. So here we go. I think this is an apple. You can see some of the half tones there. And so it's a red going down, followed by yellow getting laid down, and followed by a highlight white. And you might say, why are you not putting that on last? And it's because we want the depth of color to appear on the last screen. So this highlight white will work fine. And then we'll come around to the next color, which is a blue, which is getting laid. It's quite hard to see the actual print. You can see a line around that image there, and there are also, you get zoomed in, some half tones around these words. And then there's a magenta going down there, and there's a green going down, and finally there's this punchy blue that's going down, and we want that to go last because if you put that, let's say, in the middle of the run, the print run, it will come out a bit sort of muted by the time it gets here. Now the trick with simulated process is to build up the ink on the underside of the screen. So when you first, I'll show you the actual print, and this is just the first go round. The guys have got this set up nicely, and we can zoom in here on the bird's tail, and you can see some of those half tones. It's fairly kind of a bland set of colors really here, to be honest, but they're the colors the customer wants. And this is obviously on an old t-shirt. That is a single run round the press. And what you really want with simulated process, as you do with CMYK, is to run it multiple times before you go into production, which makes it quite difficult. But the reason for that is you want that ink to build up on the underside of the screen, because that's when the magic starts to happen. When you get more ink on the underside of the screen, you get a brighter, more vibrant print. And we would normally run that 10 to 15 times to get that. So if you're not careful, there's a bit of wastage. So you might want a few spare t-shirts around. Sometimes we'll go into production and we'll run it. And for the first cycle, this is a 12 platen screen printer, so we can get 12 t-shirts on at a time. Sometimes we'll run that first cycle again by flashing it, not putting the underbase down the second time, flashing it and letting those inks build up another set round, and then we're usually good to go into production. Okay, well, thanks for watching. That's a quick peek at the press, and maybe if I get a minute when it's in production and we can see the vibrancy of those colors, I'll hit another quick addition to this. But thanks for watching.
A few moments later.
Well, I think the guys have got that print job running now, so we'll head on out and take a quick look at it in production. So there they are loading. Here's the underbase going down. Looks like the screen is clearing in the first pass, but they're just doing another second pass to make absolutely sure. We want to make sure that underbase is nice and crisp. And here it is going under the flash unit. I think we're running a flash around 6 seconds at the moment. And here's the red going down. Those lovely half tones getting laid down there. Not get too close to the press. There's the yellow going down, and then the highlight white getting laid down. And over here we've got the blue and that magenta. And then the last two on this sprint run is green and this blue going out there. And remember talking about how we really wanted this blue to pop. We didn't want it to be too murky or muddy when the print job had finished. And you can see that coming out there. And Tina unloading. You notice he unloaded from the back first, just to avoid the t-shirt popping off too quickly. Get that through the tunnel dryer. There's Bronwyn waiting for the garment. Are there garments? Is there any garments? There it is. So it's probably in there. This is a plastisol ink. Probably in there for about a minute, minute and a half. You can see the final going down there. Yeah, nice. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see that the colours are much more vibrant now, that they've built up on the underside of the screens. You like the job, Bronwyn? Splendid. Splendid. Well, there we go. Thanks for watching. There's a quick peek at the press with a simulated process. Until next time.